Hello, I'm going to summarise how animals communicate with us and hope that you will give animal communication a try. Even if you're a complete novice and haven't as yet undertaken the Soul Speak Animal Communication course with Animal Magic Training, you can still hear animals speak. Due to the many negative things that's happening in our world today, animals are not being heard. Humans are filled with fear, angst, anxiety, anguish, and stress, and this has a knock-on effect upon the animal kingdom. Some of us, the animal light workers, feel that we've been put upon this earth to care for animals in a much more deeper way, to nourish their spirit, to care for their physical well-being, but to understand them at the greatest level possible. Currently, I've been asked to communicate with so many animals, and sadly I cannot fit all clients in due to my workload. It causes me great distress that I can't help every single animal out there, and that I can't listen to them or hear them speak of their concerns, their worries, and things that they want to share with me. I can, through Animal Magic Training, refer these clients on to graduates who have undertaken the Soul Speak training. However, I've decided to make this audio video in the hope that you will be able to give animal communication a go and develop your own instincts, your own awareness towards animals, and be able to hear, to recognise, and to understand all that the animal kingdom wish to share with us at this moment in time. Animals communicate with us humans in a variety of ways. The most common tools of communication that animals use are sounds, smells, touch, body language, and thought projection. The crow, part of the corvid family, caw to each other with unique rhythms and tones to communicate messages. Dogs bark, yip, whine, and howl. Cats purr, meow, and even trill. And depending upon the species of the particular animal, the sounds they make will mean different things. Pet rats may chitter when they see you as a way of greeting you, showing their excitement. Smell and fragrance is also a part of communication with animals. Many use the smell of waste products to mark territory. Many animals have glandular secretions that invite mating and repel threats. Smells are used to threaten and attract, and they are assessed and interpreted accurately by other members of their species. And I know when I take my own dog for a walk, she will stand and sniff what seems like hours on end at one particular post, and I call this reading her P-mail. Touch is another common method of communication between animals. Horses groom each other as a way of bonding. Cats rub up against you. This is a way of marking you as part of its family. Some animals greet through licks and even little nips. Biting is used to warn, play, and even seduce. However, the most important form of communication between animals is through body language. A horse with its ears flattened back is communicating aggression. Wolves have an intricate and subtle way of communicating through postures and movements. Body language relays information about mood, the environment, and so much more. Thought projection, or sometimes referred to as telepathy, is another way that animals communicate with each other and with their humans too. Most animals, by their very nature, are telepathic. Their instincts are sharper and more in tune than our own. While we have the luxury of just focusing on the 5 senses and ignoring the 6th, animals in the wild need that 6th sense to survive. Telepathy can be awakened and developed by each of us without exception. This is the key to communicating with animals effectively. To communicate with anyone requires that we listen and attend quietly. No two people communicate the same with each other, and it's the same with animals. But cross-species communication does work, can be achieved, and not only that, you can do it. Every loving animal guardian knows that their animal talks to them. They know that the animal, even though it may not understand the words, does understand the tone and the emotion behind the words. Every animal guardian knows that he or she also communicates in unspoken ways with their animal. Whether we call it intuition, telepathy, understanding of subtle body language, it doesn't really matter. What matters is that there is communication happening. Now, the first step to communicating with any animal is to quiet the mind. It's about learning to relax. It's about performing some pre-meditation or relaxation process that will help you receive the certain mindset that's needed to help communicate with animals. Sadly, we live in a society in which our senses are overstimulated. But we need to still our mind so that we can recognize the soft communications from our animal friends. So, what are the steps that you can do to initiate a successful animal healing session? Well, stay tuned and I'll tell you. As a professional animal healer and therapist for over 25 years, I've worked with literally thousands of animals during healing and communication sessions. Many of these animals I'll prefer to touch, but some I might work distantly with. Others I might work with through photographs. However, I don't have to touch the animals physically to initiate a successful communication session. If you have a little understanding about what the auric field is, or the energy field surrounding humans and animals, then you might begin to understand how auras begin to blend and mix when communicating with animals. We use our auric field as the initial connection point, and it allows the animals to assess our energy and to begin to understand it, and also to know if they would wish to go ahead with the communication session based on the energy we're giving out to them. Voice plays an important part of connecting with any animal, so it's important that you speak softly and slowly. Personally, I don't speak continuously, as this can get very distressful for some animals. I keep emotions out of my voice and I tend to lower it in tone. It's calming and soothing, and the animals quickly respond to it. So once you've established the animal is willing to communicate with you, they may have settled comfortably beside you. If it's a horse that's willing to communicate with you, you'll instinctively know from their body language that they're going to be a willing participant in the process. As you sit or stand beside the animal, pay attention to behaviours and the body language that they're exhibiting. Is the behaviour normal? Is it exaggerated? Unusual in any way? Is there something about the facial expressions that's catching your attention? What does the animal's posture say to you? As you notice the behaviour and body language, examine what emotions you are feeling. Are there certain emotions coming to the forefront? Pay attention to physical feelings as well. Are there any sensations in any part of your body? When we're starting to connect with the animal, the connection will often trigger an emotional or physical response. It can be very subtle, but if you have relaxed and stilled your mind, you will certainly notice it. Animals are very good at mirroring. They mirror what we are experiencing and what we are exhibiting. Animals are emphatic. They sense and feel the emotional states of those around them. And this is why, at this moment in time, communicating with animals has never been more needed. Animals instinctively know if we are tense, sad, or angry. When we start to connect with them, we will have emphatic responses to them as well. We will sense and often feel their emotions as if they are our own. When you are relaxed and comfortable with an animal, reach out with your mind and mentally ask them if there is something they would like to share with you. I find that with domestic animals, it helps to softly speak their name before asking any questions. When communicating with wild animals, I'll often use the terms sister, brother, or friend. So for instance, sister cow, brother crow, or friend, the deer. The next step is to close your eyes and pay attention to whatever comes to mind. Some may say that this part is nothing more than imagination, and my answer is yes, it is, because imagination is not the same as being unreal. Imagination is the image-making facility of the brain, the right-hand part of the brain, the creative side of the brain. It takes what cannot be verbalized and makes a picture of it for us. The communication from animals comes to us in any psychic message. Sometimes it's an image. Sometimes it's like watching a video. Sometimes it's audible, like hearing a voice in your head. Sometimes it's just a feeling or impression. It could be vague, but it's still there. These ways of engaging with animal communication in the forms of seeing, hearing, or sensing are termed as clairvoyant, clairaudient, or clairsentient. When you're starting out on your journey of animal communication, the information is not going to be especially clear, but I advise you to be patient. Sadly, we live in a fast food society and everybody wants everything quick and easy. Animal communication is not quick and easy, but with practice, even just after a few sessions, it can pay dividends in the information you'll be able to receive and understand. One quick way of testing your reception of the messages from your animal is to speak it back to the animal. and to see how the animal responds. You will know whether it's right or wrong by the animal's behaviour. Any response is good in the beginning because the lines of communication are being connected, even if they aren't fully functional yet. You may find it hard to believe, but getting a communication is actually the easy part. Understanding and translating the communication so that it's comprehended takes a little more work. You may simply be impressed with an image, but then you have to figure out what that image means and how it applies to the animal, to you, and to the communication session. This comes with time and practice. Have fun with the process. Don't be looking for instantaneous results or responses. Doubts will cause blockages and strengthen barriers. Also, don't worry about proving or disproving, because animal communication is like learning a new language, and everybody learns at their own speed. Practice and give it a go, and I guarantee that after just a few sessions, your ability will increase and your confidence will be boosted. If your thought in relation to animals is that they are just dumb creatures or have no cognitive ability or intelligence, then you're not going to get very far with communication. The problem is that we cannot determine an animal's intelligence. We do not have standardized tests to give animals like we do humans to determine levels of intelligence. Plus, it wouldn't be very successful anyway. By observation alone, we know that many animals are problem solvers. They're very good at assessing difficulties of tasks before them, and they can even read the signs of danger and safety within their environments. Even simple communication is possible with the most rudimentary intelligence, whether human or animal. We don't need the limitation of human words to communicate with animals. Animals are not verbal with each other, and many humans think that if an animal can't speak, then it must have little intelligence or no spirit. Animals don't use sentences or words like we do, but they vocalize communications that express all emotions and a tremendous variety of thoughts. Many people believe that if it does not involve words, then it's not communication. But there are many ways of communicating other than through the limitation of words. When it comes to communicating with animals, we must find a language that is common to us. And by understanding that animal, we'll become attuned to their language. If you are patient and open yourself to the possibility of animal communication, you will soon discover the spirit of the animal, and you will never look upon animals and nature in the same way again. Thank you for listening and watching this audio video journey. Many blessings from the animals and from myself, Nikki Senior, Principal of Animal Magic Training, www.animalmagictraining.com.